I was lucky enough to watch and review the new music documentary, The Coral, Dreaming of You, for UK Film Review. It's all about the band from the early noughties, The Coral, and they're the Liverpoolian band, well, based in the Wirral actually, and a big part of the movie is that they're from that small part, just offset from Liverpool and that music scene. But the documentary itself is fascinating because, unlike a lot of rock documentaries, or rockumentaries as we like to call them, are quite sort of talking heads and people just kind of looking back on all the famous clips and things like that. With this documentary, you get a lot more of the personal journey stuff, and you get the actual band and narrating the piece. There are other people doing a bit of kind of over voice as well. And that really gives you a proper insight into these people, who they were, where they came from, their childhood, through their journey of learning instruments and writing songs and becoming, fascinated and obsessed with playing live music. We get the sort of early part of their career where they sort of started to get famous. Then things took off for them following the success of like some big performances. Glastonbury, they go to America and things like this, and all the while their songwriting and how that's been curated by the band. And what I really loved about this as a documentary about a band, being a musician myself, it was pure love of music. Whereas, as I said before, some documentaries become quite ego-based. They're quite talking about why this band deserves recognition. With this, it's purely showing that they love music, they love playing. They're not shy about talking the bands that influence them and referencing them. There's talk about the Doors, Oasis, loads of bands. They all come up, and I think music aficionados, which is primarily who this is going to be based at, are going to love that. They're going to love that that's all being included there. The film itself also has some kind of like different ways of showing what happens. So whether it's like home footage, animation which comes in, live performance, music videos, there's loads of things there. It's not just kind of staying in one type of format, as I said, like the talking heads kind of format, which can be quite dry and quite boring. This isn't that at all. If anything, it's almost too eclectic and eccentric, which I think if you then start to know the band, you understand why it's that way. It's complementing their choice of playing and music. And what I was really left with the film as well was, it wasn't we're just going to sum up the whole of this band's career. It was charting this part of they got to a point, and then what happened? Like, why didn't this go further? Why aren't they a household name in the same way that bands from that era are? And a lot of that comes down to the fact that they were so young, and they just kind of wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to play the music industry game. That didn't come across. And I think the director, James Slater, does really well to create an almost chronological journey, but not too much in the way that it feels sort of stilted, and give you something to take away from this, something to actually feed upon, rather than just going, okay, great, that's just rehashed everything I already knew about the band, or even if I didn't know the band, I just kind of feel that I've got their best of. This is something a bit more specific than that, and it's getting into the heart of something that people will feel a connection to about choices and what could have been, and it's not also tragic. It's not kind of go, oh gosh, it didn't happen and they're all dead. It's like, that's not it. It's more that, okay, well, that was a choice they made, and so be it. They're still making music, some of them within the band and some of them solo, and it's not trying to get loads of sympathy or anything like that. It was just an interesting take on that genre, because music documentaries, there's so many of them, and what I loved about this is you cannot come away from this without knowing the band a lot better, because they're involved in it, and the way that it's made is really reflective of their music choices and what they like doing. As I said, it's a new film. It's not quite out yet. I think it's coming to cinemas on the 12th of September, so depending on when you're watching this, 2025 it might be coming to a cinema. And with a film like this, 100% recommend a cinema viewing. You got the music, the performances. It's like going to a gig. Yeah, absolutely, go see it. Bring some friends. And also, when I came away from it, it really did make me feel compelled to go back and listen to their albums. It's been a long time since I've really listened to them. I think Dreaming of You has been on like playlists of mine for a long time, but actually hearing the songs again, I was like, yeah, I've got to go back and check out those albums, and actually feel like I'm going to listen to some of their more up-to-date music that they're still making. So yeah, that was that. It's Dreaming of You, the making of the Coral. If you go to the UK Film Review website or go through the IMD critics reviews, you will see my review, and you'll also get the trailer. So it's worth checking out the trailer and see if it's something you want to watch.